is Johara. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm back with my mom. She hasn't been on it.
Hi.
She hasn't been on in a really long
It
time.
has been a while,
So
hasn't
at
it?
least our old house.
Oh my God,
Uh,
has it been that
I
long?
think the last video you were on was the one that Alyssa was on too, where with the different shows.
Oh wow. So this is long overdue,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So we are going to. I know I by myself have done shipping wars before, where I have like a bunch of different ships from different TV shows and movies, and I would. I think I only did it once or twice. I didn't do it as many times as I've done the ship it or rip it.
Oh.
But we have that one planned too, so stay tuned. But and I'll choose which ship I'll grab two, and then choose which ship I like more. And I thought it'd be fun to bring my mom in for this one.
Because we have differing opinions about almost everything. I mean, it's really hard to tell that we're mother and daughter here because our opinions on just about anything is
I think
very
there's a few
different.
things that we have a common. Like both of our Riverdale ship is the same. My favorite ship, but Betty and
Oh,
Jughead,
Betty and Jughead, yeah.
which I think I have them on here. So like every so often we'll have a ship where it's like it's both of our favorite or something. But a lot of times, even if we both like it, it's not both of our favorites.
Yeah.
So this should be
I
fun.
figured since we're doing two different sheets, I figure you can pick one and I'll pick the other. And
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you go first. It's your thing.
Uh, Kim and Ron from Kim Possible.
Darlene and David from Roseanne. So who do you say? Kim and
Kim and
Ron?
Ron from Kim Possible.
Oh my God, that's so hard because I like Darlene and David. I really do. They were great together. But I love Kim and Ron. I do.
This is a hard one.
So
And it's so hard when it's like shows that are just so widely different.
true, true. So let's see.
I
Pros and cons. Okay, let's see. Darlene and David. They are.
I think David was good for Darling.
Yes, I do. Um, I think he made her show her feelings a little bit more. And you know what? Honestly speaking, I think I can figure this one out. I think I like Kim and Ron. I think
Really?
that's my favorite. And the purpose for that is because as I was talking about it, I realized that even though yeah, David was good for Darlene, which she was a little bee and everything, but with Kim and Ron, even before they started dating, they were best friends. And they stayed friends for like ever. And even though she was this super popular person or whatever, and a superhero on top of that, Ron still was not, even though he didn't have any superpowers or anything like that, he was not afraid to go out there and do that dumb stuff with her. And yeah, even though she was a cheerleader, this popular girl or whatever, she still couldn't live without Ron, even before they started dating. And that's just something for her because in most cases, once you get older and one's popular and one's not, you grow apart. Yeah. And Kim never did that to Ron. And I think that in the situation, like with David and Darlene, if David was good for Darlene, but to be totally honest, at least back when they were in high school, David could have done a lot better than Darlene for the way she treated him. But with Kim and Ron, I think they both give each other something, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's why I choose them over.
I love Darling and David, but I think I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one.
Yeah, see, it makes a lot more sense.
But I still think Darling and David are still my favorite Roseanne ship by far.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. But...
Okay, so Sarah and Ava from the Arrowverse, mostly Legends of Tomorrow, because that's the one.
Okay, this is
Caroline and Stefan from Vampire Diaries.
Okay.
Some of them I didn't put where they were from because some I figured we would be able to guess.
Well, I just couldn't read what the word was because your handwriting was
awful. Oh my gosh, this one's
Caroline,
so hard.
Stefan, Sarah, and Ava.
It's Stefan, not Stefan.
I always say Stefan. I always say Stefan.
This was really hard for me actually, even harder than the last one.
Now I've never actually watched the Vampire Diaries. I'm not gonna lie, but I've seen I've listened to Jahara talk
Shut
talk
up!
about the Vampire Diaries. But I've also watched her little clip. What do you call them? Those little clips that you do with songs.
Edits.
The edits that she does. I've watched
And you've
every
seen
edit
some
she
of
does.
the Vampire Diaries from
Yeah, so now I do like Sarah and Ava, and I watched the Arrowverse. Um, but oddly enough, I think I'm leaning more towards Caroline and Stefan.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
surprised.
surprised myself too, especially since I was not a big fan of the show itself. That's why I didn't watch it. But honestly, from what I've seen from your edits and what you've told me about them, I think they, for being vampires and all, they were amazing people.
Yeah.
I mean, I like their relationship. I like the fact that Stefan, even though he's a vampire, he seemed to be a really good person and always wanted to help people. And I think so is she.
Yeah.
And I think I'm actually, believe it or not, leaning more towards
I'm
them.
surprised, honestly.
I surprised myself. I really
For
did
me,
because
it's
I
so
watched the Arrowverse.
for me
So
it's so hard because I feel like they are both two of my favorite couples from their respective universes. Sarah and Ava's tied for my favorite Arrowverse ship, along with Oliver and Felicity, obviously, because they're just amazing. Um,
I don't know who my favorite Arrowverse.
but
I like Oliver and Felicity, but I also liked Supergirl or Kara and Monel.
yeah, I like them too.
But I also, believe it or not, I actually liked oh god, what was his name? The funny dude.
Right?
Yeah, right. And
And
the woman
Nora?
in the
Yeah,
one he's
they're
with.
one of my
I
favorites.
really liked them. So I surprised myself on that one
They're
too.
one of my
But
favorites. But Sarah and Ava, they did
sorry
not
for the interruption.
they did not like each other at first, if you remember.
Ava and
Sarah.
yes.
And they're my only issue with their relationship was that I felt like the enemies to lovers bit, because I do like good enemies to lovers, happened a little fast. Because they started dating in season 3, and that's also when Ava was introduced.
Really?
Yeah. They were only like half the season, if even, they hated each other. But then they started getting this mutual respect for each other, and then that mutual respect turned into friendship, which turned into uh, uh, romantic love. But at the same time, I felt like it happened a little fast, if that makes sense. But I still love their relationship. They are, like I said, tied for my favorite Arrowverse relationship, along with Oliver and Felicity, because I do love them. And then, but with Caroline and Stefan,
I like what Felicity did to all of them.
yeah, and I feel like Ava helped Sarah a lot, because when Ava met Sarah, she was still so believed she was this awful person.
Yes.
I feel like Ava gave to Sarah what Felicity gave to Oliver.
Yeah, because Oliver also thought he was a bad
Yeah.
person, and I agree with that part because I I think Sarah didn't think that she deserved love, and I think she thought that she was this horrible person, especially with how many times she came back from the dead and all.
And everything that the league forced her to do.
Yes, and therefore Ava taught her that she is worthy love. Of that love, yeah. And yeah.
But with Caroline and Stefan, their progression is one of my favorites. Their evolution to falling in love is one of my favorites I've ever seen in ever. Like, they may even be one of my favorite ships. I'm starting to think I might be choosing them, but because in the very first episode, Caroline immediately liked Stefan. She was a lot more shallow and stuff in the beginning before she became a vampire. She became her true self after dying. but
Bad.
but she hit on Stefan, and he was like, Caroline, you and me is never gonna happen. He had his eyes set on Elena, but after she became a vampire, he kind of became her mentor, was trying to help her learn how to handle it. And then, so because of it, they were forced to spend a lot of time together. They formed this friendship, but over time, they formed this friendship grew, and they became each other's best friends. It became so when one of them was in danger or one of them needed someone, they went to each other. They didn't even want to go to their significant others. They always went to each other first, and that friendship soon turned into something more. It turned into this love, and I absolutely loved their progression from um, strangers to something more. And it was also so it's a slow burn. I love a good slow burn. Like, it happened so naturally too. It didn't feel like it was forced at all. You know, like some relationships feel like it's just thrown together or something. They felt like it was this slow progression over 8 years. And so yeah, I'm gonna have to go with them. Okay, Blair and Joe from Facts of Life.
Ron and Hermione from Harry Potter. Um,
I honestly won't lie. I do think Blair and Joe would be good as a couple and not just friends. But I love their friendship. But I'm gonna have to go with Ron and Hermione.
I agree with you on that one.
If it was
That's kind of a no-brainer.
if it was just friendship, I might go with Blair and Joe, especially since we just watched it and their friendship is just amazing.
Yes.
But
rewatching it after all this time of not watching
and
it,
me finally seeing the later seasons.
I have a new respect for their relationship that I didn't before, but it's a no-brainer for me, Ron and Hermione.
Yeah, definitely. I absolutely love them. They're not my favorite Harry Potter ship though.
Oh, you were the Harry too.
For the books, the movies really take
Excuse me, I didn't mean to yawn.
Okay, ready?
I don't know. Ron and Hermione are my favorite either way.
Oh, really? Well, you haven't read the books in a long time.
That's true, but still.
Jody and Dallas from Soap.
Jody and Dallas?
Yeah. Jody and the guy he was with?
Okay. Are you aware that Jody's last name is Dallas?
I met that one guy.
The football guy?
Yeah. What's his name?
Oh, God, I don't remember his name.
So what was his name?
Let's see. Honestly, I don't
think
remember.
It starts with a D. I think that's why I said Dallas. Are you sure it wasn't Dallas?
I'm positive because Jody's last name is Dallas.
Are you sure? We looked it up. It's Dennis. I knew it started with a D. That's what
Dennis Phillips. Yes. And who is this? This is
Alina and the Darkling from Shadow and Bone.
Darkling?
That's what the in the movie they don't actually call him the Darkling, but in the books he's supposed to be the Darkling.
Who?
What? The main villain.
That's what I thought you were talking about. I'm like, why are you putting Elena and him together?
Because there are people who ship them, and I put bad ships in here too to make it more interesting.
Oh my god!
But the thing is, it's so awful that people ship him because apparently the author Lee Verdugo actually wrote that based it off an abusive relationship she had. So it's supposed to be based off an abusive relationship. People still ship them.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't. I despise them.
Yeah, I've got to go with Jody and Dennis. Yeah.
And we're not even huge shippers of Jody and Dennis, but they're still better.
It's still better than the Darkling.
I liked Jody and Dennis at first, but they ruined their relationship when after they got back together and then the whole baby thing and stuff. Then they completely changed Dennis's character, if you ask me. I don't think he was that much of a jerk when he was first on.
He was being a big jerk. I mean, it's like after Jody broke up. Well, after he broke up with Jody, but then when he came back into Jody's life, I think he just expected them to be able to just be the way they already were. Well, and too much has happened because because even though Jody did love Dennis, Dennis left him and could have really cared less about him. And then when Jody finally moved on with his life, Dennis is like, well, even though we're back together, I own you.
I think Dennis did love Jody. I think it was in the 70s. He was terrified of people finding out about them.
That's not my problem. It was the way he acted after they got back together. He acted as if, well, even though I left you earlier, you forgive me and you can't even be friends with anybody else. I mean, he literally was acting as if he owned Jody. No,
it wasn't that he didn't want him to be friends with anybody else. It's that Jody was going to do the same thing Dennis did and leave him to marry a woman because she had his baby.
Yes, but then Dennis
was a jerk about it. Yes.
But you can't say that Dennis really loved Jody because Jody, even though he knew what Dennis was doing was wrong, he stepped aside and let Dennis marry that other woman, even though he tried to kill himself. But when Jody was going to do it, Dennis flat out said, well, I'm going to ruin your life. I'm going to make sure this doesn't happen. So he wasn't thinking of Jody at all. Yeah. And that's really, really annoying because Jody truly loved Dennis and was thinking about Dennis, even though he disagreed with what he was doing.
Yeah, I think Jody deserved a better love interest. I mean, there was the girl and then there was the guy. And the girl he didn't actually love in that way anyways because he was gay. But
so was she. Oh no, you're talking about Carol.
Yeah, not Alice. Carol.
God, I hated her.
Oh my gosh, she was worse than Dennis. She basically kind of manipulated him into sleeping with her.
She knew that he was
gay.
No, she knew that he was a sensitive person.
Oh right.
So she kept saying things like, "Well, you don't care about me. I'm horrible. I don't deserve anything." Made him feel guilty, so he had sex with her because of that. Then she gets pregnant. Then she tricks him into marrying her because she's pregnant. Then she ditches him before the marriage.
And then ditches her baby.
Then turns around and ditches her child. So to me, she's just a horrible person all the way around.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
Yes. think Jody deserved better.
Yeah,
He's my second favorite character after Corinne, if you did not know that.
he's mine too.
Oh, really? Okay. Buffy and Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Annika, and is that Aiden?
Aiden, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
From the Magic Pegasus.
I was just gonna say Barbie movie because I couldn't remember which movie it was from. But
uh,
who did you choose?
over here. Which one was it? Oh, Buffy and Spike from Buffy the Vampire
Oh,
Slayer.
Buffy and Spike, definitely,
Uh,
definitely. Don't get me wrong, I like Annika and Aiden.
Annika and Aiden is probably one of my favorite Barbie
Yes,
ships.
I actually they're one of my favorites too. I really did like
But
them.
I'm probably going with Buffy and
But
Spike
yeah,
too.
you can't beat Buffy and
We're
Spike. Yeah.
agreeing. We're agreeing more in this video than I thought we would.
Oh my God, the world's coming to an end. I'm agreeing with her. I'm scared.
Shut up. I told you I put some ships that are not good ships just to spice things up, and I got Betty and Archie from Riverdale.
Okay, I can't read here. Is that
Cleo and Frankie from Monster High G3. You haven't really seen much of this series, but Betty and Archie.
Well, I gotta go with Cleo and Frankie because I really do not like Betty with Archie. I don't.
I don't either, but either way.
Even if Jughead was not in the picture, I just did not. I could never see them together.
Yeah,
they just
same.
don't.
But either way, even if I didn't dislike Betty and Archie the way I do, Cleo and Frankie from Monster High G3, I really do like their relationship so far, and I can't wait to see them finally actually get together.
I apologize that I keep yawning, people.
It's late.
It's late.
Lula and Narcisse from Rain.
Ro, and is that the dude that she dated?
Antonio and
I couldn't.
Island Princess.
Well, I knew what show it was from, but I couldn't remember. I never watched Island Princess enough to remember his name. I always remember her name because it's Ro, but I couldn't remember his. And who did you choose?
Lola and Narcisse from Rain. She finally watched Rain, so now I can add Rain ships too. She was the girl you really liked that died in the end of season 3, and then that guy she married.
Oh,
She's one of my favorite characters.
I was so upset when Lola died, man. Of course, then again, I was also upset when what's her name? Mary died.
She cried in the finale, just like I always do. When she wakes up and sees Francis,
I did, and I'm not a big crier, so but yeah, I cried.
See, I did like them together. My biggest issue was that sometimes it reminded me of Belle and Rumple, which they are my favorite ship from Once Upon a Time.
Honestly speaking, you're right.
Because he, as much as he loved her and she did bring out the best version of himself, he still constantly chose power over her. And
but then every time she would walk away, just like when Belle would walk away from Rumple, it would kill him.
Because he does love her.
Yeah, but he at the same time he needs that power to survive. It's like the power is like a drug.
Yeah.
It is. It's like a drug. It's like I need that, even though she's my everything. I can't lose her, but
it's kind of like you said. It's kind of like an addiction.
Yeah, it is. But honestly, I'm on the fence here because I really, really like Lola, and I do like Ro.
But it's not about the characters; it's about them with the chip.
That's true.
So, did you like Ro and Antonio's story more? Or did you like Lola and Narcisse's story more? Whichever one did you like more?
Honestly, I like I kind of like them. I like both of them. But to be honest, if you think about health wise and healthiness and good for each other, I would have to go with Ro. But I really do like both of them, and I liked them together. But I still think I'd choose Ro them.
Mm. Ro and Antonio is one of my favorite Barbie ships as well.
Well, that's one of your favorite movies too, isn't it?
True, it is my favorite Barbie movie, and it's also the most underrated. And it also has my favorite Barbie sidekick ever, and the most underrated, if you ask me. I still think
the elephant.
No, she gets on my nerves. She's very selfish.
Oh, that's right. She was the one
The
that
red
didn't
panda,
tell her.
Saji.
She's the one.
He's the one that from the very beginning always put what Ro wanted and or needed first above everything else. And I think he doesn't get enough.
Even from the very beginning.
Yes, he's the one that wanted to take her out, and he's also once he saw that flag, he immediately went to chase it because he remembered it, and then he immediately told Ro. And the entire time he was asking her what she wanted, what was in her heart, even if it meant losing her. That's why he's the best.
That's love. That's love.
That's why he's my favorite Barbie sidekick, and I do not think he gets half enough appreciation as he deserves. But anyways, for me, I'd have to say, um, uh, they're probably. I'm gonna go with Rowan and Antonio. I was gonna say they're my favorite, second favorite ship in the show, but
Have we disagreed at all during this?
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh.
I was gonna say they're my second favorite ship in the show, but I don't think that's true because I also really like Greer and Lace. So I don't know which one I like more out of the two.
I like Mary and Francis.
They're my favorite. I'm saying second favorite.
Oh.
Because for second favorite, it's either Lola, Narcisse, or Greer and Lace. I don't know which one I like more.
I really liked her and Lace,
Oh.
but at the same time, I think it was more Lace that I liked than her because what she did, I don't really forgive her for that. You know, because I don't know, but Lace was a good guy. But
With Greer and Lace, it's more
Lace was a good guy with the princess lady too.
Claude.
Yeah, thank you.
Her name. For me, I think the biggest problem, I feel like it's different than with Lola, Narcisse, and Belf and Rumple because it was their fault. They kept choosing the power over the person they were supposed to be in love with. But with Greer and Lace, you gotta understand where you're coming from because look at the times. She wanted to make something. She wanted to do what women are supposed to do. It's not like she had the luxury to follow her heart.
Well, that's true, and because back in those times you don't marry beneath you.
Yeah, so that's why I give Greer more leeway than I give Narcisse.
That's why she did what she did at first, and I guess I understand why she chose
her
job over him later on
because now she has something of herself.
Yeah, for the first time she's made a career for herself and became a better person when he was just saying, "Well, you give up this and just be my wife." And for the first time, she found something better than that. Yeah. And she couldn't see herself.
That's why I understand where Greer's coming from more than I understand where Narcisse is coming from.
I agree with that. I do agree.
This video is gonna be very long. We're not even halfway done, and we just keep talking. Okay. Betty and Jughead from Riverdale.
Awesome, because I got Veronica and Archie.
That's funny. That is funny. That doesn't happen very often. But neither one of us like Veronica and Archie together. Yes, or as characters, I don't think.
I was gonna say I can tolerate Archie. I hate Veronica. I hate her with a freaking passion.
And it's funny because Betty Jughead are our favorite ship from the show, so it's obviously gonna be them.
Yeah, definitely.
That was easy. I still can't believe we haven't disagreed once in this video.
I'm scared
because I don't think we have.
If we did, it was only once. Yeah. Honestly.
Okay. Rapunzel and Stefan from Rapunzel Barbie movie.
Alexa and
Liana from Diamond Castle. They're the two girls.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I'm thinking. Sorry. Sometimes she thinks I don't remember who they are, and sometimes I don't. But sometimes I do, and I just.
That's hard because they're both two of my favorites as well.
Who was the one you chose?
Rapunzel and Stefan from Rapunzel.
Even though I really like them and I like that movie, one of my favorite Barbie movies from the very beginning has always been Rapunzel.
But it's not about the movies.
I know that.
I got yelled at.
But still, I like them because I like the fact that even though she kept disappearing at different times and crap like that, he never questioned.
And I also like when his dad asked him about this girl, and he's like, she doesn't even know that I'm the prince yet because she liked him for him. She didn't even know he was the prince yet, and she still liked him.
And he liked her even though she was mysterious and kept darting off places, and he never tried to, be nosy. Like, why do you keep running off of me and getting mad like most dudes do, know?
Yeah. Even though I do love Alex and Liana, and as most fans, I do believe they are in love and they are together.
It could be. I could see that.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to go with Rapunzel and Stefan too.
You gotta quit that.
Shut up. One of these days we're gonna disagree. Okay, Corinne and Tim from Soap. This is an old 70s show, so I doubt how many of my followers actually know what it is. But
is that Barry and Iris?
Yeah.
Okay.
Corinne and Tim, they're my favorite ship from that show.
Okay, Barry and
Iris. I do like Barry and Iris, but I like Corinne and Tim more. I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna say Corinne and Tim.
I'm choosing Barry and Iris.
Oh, really?
Actually, I'm lying. I'm choosing Tim and Corinne. I just didn't want to agree with her again. I was afraid.
Shut up. I'm honestly surprised. Usually we don't agree this much.
You should see if you're a fan of Johara's. If you look back at any of the other videos that I've done with her, we disagree more than we agree, and this time we're agreeing on just about everything. Don't remember now.
Oh,
But
we kind of dropped it. Okay.
but anyway, I love Corinne and Tim. I don't think you can beat them. I absolutely adore them. But I also like who were we up with?
Um,
I don't remember.
who are we up against? Oh, Barry and Iris.
Yeah, yes. I do like Barry and Iris. I do.
They're
Because
not
I
one of my
like the
favorites, but
class.
I like them.
But Corinne and Tim, I absolutely love them. At least
Yeah.
in the beginning, you know.
I think Soap ruined a lot of things in the last couple of seasons, and I think
definitely ruined them.
yeah, which sucks because I really like them.
Um,
Anna and Kristoff from Frozen.
Zeta and Gabrielle.
Oh my god.
This was hard. This is
Yeah.
hard.
Because I love Anna and Kristoff. They're probably one of my favorite Disney Channel ships, to be
Yes.
honest. But Xena and Gabrielle, I do believe they were in love. And
Sometimes it was hard to believe they weren't because some of the things they did.
I
Yeah.
absolutely ship them. And oh my
But
gosh.
I love the fact that Kristoff was honest to her. He didn't look at her
Yeah.
as a princess. He just looked at her as a person. And I love the fact that she acted like a person. She didn't wake up all perfect like like all these other princesses and stuff. And
I thought
together
they brought something
to each other, yeah. And I absolutely
yeah,
adore the two of them.
she opened him up because he was kind of a jerk at first, and he was
Yeah, oh
kind of
God,
closed
he was,
off.
yeah.
And he kind of also grounded her because she was always up in the sky and stuff.
That is true. And but Xena and Gabrielle, they gave something to each other too, know, because Xena was one of those that didn't believe that she deserved to be loved or anything
And she was
else.
also kind of closed off.
Yeah, and Gabrielle taught her that she deserved all that, and then Xena taught Gabrielle how to
Be the person she always wanted to be that she
yeah,
couldn't be in her village.
be the strong-willed
Fighter.
that it was okay to be the strong-willed person.
Because in her village,
back in those days, women are supposed to just get married and do as their husbands say.
Yeah.
And Xena taught Gabrielle that she could be her own person and trust within herself. And so, if you want to know the truth, I'm at a crossroads here. I'm about staying a tie because I find it very hard to choose between Anna Kristoff and Xena and Gabrielle because I love them both so much that it is very,
I kind of want to
very hard
rewatch
for me to.
Xena now.
It has been. I was thinking of that earlier.
We should see if we can find it on Tubi like we did Fast Life. I'm finding it hard to choose too.
I'm on this ship, on this what's this war. I'm gonna say tie because I couldn't even begin to. It would take me too long to do the pros and cons to figure out which one would be better.
You know something that Kaylin from Kaylin Disney has done is that if there were several that she was found them hard to choose, she would take them to the side, and then at the end, after all the names are gone and there's just a few left, she would do like a battle round.
Why don't we do that?
Yeah,
we'll put them over
if
here.
we have enough afterwards, then we'll do that. But if not, then it's a tie.
All right. That's actually a good idea.
Alex and Willie from Julie and the Phantoms.
Rachel and Ross.
I love Rachel and Ross. They're my favorite friendship. But I'm gonna have to go with Alex and Willie. We did not get enough of them, and I really like their story.
I actually did like their story as well, but this is a crossroads because I love Ross and Rachel.
Me too. They're my favorite ship from Friends, but I'm going to have to go with Alex and Willie.
I love them, but I'm going with Ross and Rachel in this one.
So. We did get more of Ross and Rachel, but I loved Alex and Willie's relationship. I love how Alex was just so like talkative and always nervous and stuff, and Willie found that like charming and stuff.
He found it cute. He found it cute.
I just really liked their relationship, and I'm still bitter that we didn't get a second season. And part of the reason is because I wanted more of them. I honestly don't know which one I like more, them or Julie and Luke.
I wanted the second season because of the fact that I wanted to find out about the guy that never crossed over, and they were supposed to, and now she can touch him.
Yeah.
And dude got possessed.
Yeah.
But the main reason, do you want to know the main reason I wish there was a second season? Because the girl's dad just found out that they are there, and the whole time.
No, you mean brother. The dad did. The brother did.
No,
Oh, you're talking about the other
the
girl's dad.
girl's
Okay,
dad.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, the dude that used to be in their band,
Yeah, I know
and
what you're talking about now.
he saw
I
them
thought you
on.
meant Julie.
Oh yeah, I got that. But he saw them on stage, and the look on his face, like, how could they be here, still looking as young as they look? And I really would have loved to see him interact with
Me
them
too.
or something. I
I
really would have
I
loved
also
to
want
see
to find
that.
out what happened to Willie because he helped the ghost
And
when go his
dude wouldn't
gets
have been happy
massacred.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, we disagreed on something.
yeah,
Topanga and Corey from Boy Meets World.
Han and Giselle from Fast and Furious.
These are too hard,
They
Johar.
are.
Oh my god.
So I love Topanga and Corey, but sometimes they also got on my nerves because later on Corey just seemed very selfish, even when it came to Topanga. And Han and Giselle, they truly loved each other, and her death and his face still makes me cry to
The
this
fact that
day.
she died to save his life.
Yes.
Yeah. I
For
have to
those
go
of you
with
that
them.
haven't seen Fast and Furious, she was like hanging off what was that whole plane thing
Yeah,
or something?
no, they were. Yeah, they were both on
A car that was
a
attached
car
to a plane.
that was attached to a plane. The plane somehow grabbed the car,
And she
and they were on top of it.
yeah.
Han, Giselle,
And a
and
bad
the
guy.
bad guy, and the bad guy was about to shoot Han, so she let go of the car, and they were far in the air, and she let go of
And
the
shot
car
him.
so that she could kill the guy, so he wouldn't kill Han, and then she fell to her death, and then not long after that, the plane exploded.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
And you see, even though that scene is sad, the scene that's even sadder is later on when Mia asks, "Where's Giselle?"
and
And
the
then
look on his face,
I'm
man.
starting to tear right now. And then both Brian and Mia hug him. That's because he just starts crying, and that scene always gets me, even more than Giselle's initial death.
Yeah, I have to go with them too because
Yeah,
I do like Corey and
me
Topanga,
too.
and but it doesn't add up to Han and Giselle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like them.
Um,
Piper and Leo from Charmed. This is gonna be a hard one to beat. They're one of my all-time favorites. Alex and Luke from Julian the Phantoms. There's a theory that the two of them used to date. I'll explain it more later. Yeah, because people think Luke is bi and that the two of them used to date because there was a few moments between them that was a little odd.
which one's Luke?
Luke is the main one that Julie fell in love
Okay,
with.
that's what I thought it was. Okay, I just I haven't
So,
watched the show in a while.
like, there was a scene where the two of them were like holding hands when they got scared, but then they quickly looked awkward and let go, and then stuff like that.
Of course, it also could be a best friend thing, True. But who did you have?
Piper and Leo.
Oh,
Piper and Leo.
Leo. Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
I feel like this one. I feel like almost any other ship I would have got, I still would have chose Piper and Leo because they were one of my all-time favorite ships. So I feel it's very hard to beat them.
I have to agree with you. There's very few I think that I would have chosen over them.
Yeah. Jane and Richie from Grease Rise of the Pink Ladies.
Next time we do this, I'm old, okay? You need to make these bigger, okay? Seriously.
Jackie and Hyde.
Jackie and Hyde.
Jackie and Hyde. Jane and Richie from Grease Rise of the Pink Ladies. I choose Jackie and Hyde. I liked them together, but Jackie and Hyde are my favorite ship from that show, and I love them. I love what they brought to each other. I love how they helped each other and brought themselves to their best selves, and I still am very, very bitter that how they ended.
I like the fact that because I was never a big fan of Jackie's, but Hyde gave Jackie something that nobody else did, and he grounded her like a lot.
And I think she brought him up as well because he was also that kind of sulky, all this, but she actually made him happy. Like
yeah, even when he kept saying how much he disliked her, even before they started dating, he would say how much he disliked her. But whenever she felt sad or something, he always helped her out. So I think that maybe secretly he liked her, but did not realize that he liked her.
I agree with that. I definitely think because he seems so protective of her. There's like several scenes I could
even when she was still with, because in the very very beginning he really did not like her. But I think the more that
she was around,
the more that she was around, the more dudes kept treating her like crap.
The especially more he felt protective of her.
And especially after they first broke up, and even before she started dating Hyde, whenever she got upset or anything, he jumped it didn't take much for him to jump in and protect her.
Yeah.
I go with Jackie and Hyde.
Yeah, me too. I did like Jane and Richie, but
I did too, but I think they fail in comparison to me to Hyde and
definitely,
Jackie.
definitely, Jackie and
Yeah.
Hyde. I love them.
Yeah.
I'm still bitter about it. Sam and Freddie from iCarly.
Gabriella Jackson?
Well, he was in love with her. Sam and Freddie.
I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I did like Sam and Freddie together,
Me too.
but it's still, even though Joxer and Gabrielle weren't really together, and he was in love with her, I think, at one time.
And he sacrificed himself in the end for her.
Yeah, but I think that she really did care about him,
Definitely.
and I think she thought highly of him because it takes a lot to be a hero when you technically are a bumbling idiot. Like, no offense, Joxer is a bumbling idiot, and so is Ron from Kim Possible. And but the woman that they cared so much about was a real hero, fought, you know, stuff like that, and yet these guys had no real skill, yet they would do anything and jump right in there, and I think that really endears me.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Joxer and Gabrielle.
I was thinking that way too. I still like Gabrielle and Xena more as a ship, but out of these two, I'm gonna have to go with Gabrielle and Joxer because I did really like them, and even if they weren't like in love or anything, I like their friendship. So Phoebe and Mike from France.
Cheryl and Tony.
Yeah, from Riverdale.
Phoebe and who?
Mike.
Dang, why couldn't it be, I really like Phoebe and Mike. Um,
I like Phoebe and Mike
but I
too.
like Cheryl and Tony.
Really? I'm surprised. Didn't you at once said you didn't like them together?
I
I know you said you didn't like how Cheryl calls Tony TT.
I don't like that. She sounds childish. She sounds like a fourth grader when she
Have
does
you
that.
heard the way she talks? She does that a lot with anything she
She
says.
does, doesn't she? She all weird.
But Cheryl and Tony's actually my second favorite ship after Betty and Jughead and
Well,
Riverdale.
see, I like it because like Tony, Cheryl is for lack of a better phrase, unusual. And her whole thought process, the way she acts, even though she is an amazing person and an amazing friend, and she grew on me. Yeah. Through watching it. But I think the more I think about Cheryl and Tony's relationship, the fact that when Cheryl does weird things, like when she was hiding her brother's body and crap, even though Tony thought it was weird, Tony was there for her. She was poor. She didn't just look at her like, "Oh my God, you're just insane." Like, to be honest, most people would have. Tony was there for her and supported her through all of the strange and weird things that Cheryl had done. Her whole thought process is just unusual. And I think Tony gave a new meaning to "I love you."
Yeah,
You
and
know?
another thing is that Cheryl's also one of those people that's thought very low of herself. And like their first real moment when Tony tells her she's what was the word she put? Sensational, I think is how she put it. Because she was like, "You're not deviant, you're not loveless, you're sensational." That scene's one of their best, and because for the first and Cheryl's face because for the first time somebody actually thought this way of her. I also love the conversation they had in the musical, the second musical, because they were broken up, they got back together and then they sang a duet. Um, and because Cheryl had pushed Tony away, they had broken up because and Tony asked her why, and she was like, she explained how before when Jason, he was the only light in her life. Because her house was just darkness. Her parents were awful to her, especially her mother, and her life was nothing but darkness except for him. But when he died, she lost her only light until Tony, and she was so afraid she was gonna lose her that she pushed her away. And I just feel like Tony brought a light to Cheryl. She made her happy again because after Jason's death, she was miserable, and you saw how badly her mom put her through things. So I just think Tony brought Cheryl happiness she's never really known.
And Tony, like I said, Tony gave her understanding because
and patience.
Yeah, just like there's a lot of things that Cheryl would have that Cheryl did that I think would have pushed a lot of people. Have been like, "Oh my God, she just strange. I can't deal with this." But instead of that, Tony was there and she was understanding, and a lot of people I don't think would have been,
Yeah.
because Cheryl is something. She's something.
But she, and it's not even that she loved her despite of it. She loved her because of all of it.
Exactly. Which is amazing because it's not like you said, she didn't love her in spite of it. She loved everything about her. She loved the smart
And that
Cheryl.
is,
She loved the weird
yeah,
Cheryl.
that
She
is
loved the crazy
one thing I
Cheryl.
do love about Phoebe and Mike too, because Phoebe is a lot weird like Cheryl, you know. But Mike loved her not to, in spite of it, but because of it.
Yes.
But I still I'm gonna go
And
with Cheryl.
yeah,
Sorry.
well, like I said, Phoebe and Mike, other than Ross and Rachel, they were my second favorite
Really?
friends.
What about Monica and Chandler?
I
Really?
like Phoebe and Mike. I like Phoebe and Mike.
For me, it's Ross, Rachel, Monica, and Chandler, then Phoebe and Mike. But I do love Phoebe and Mike.
I like Phoebe and Mike. I wish he was on more.
Yes,
I did.
agreed. Plus, it's Paul Rudd.
I love Paul Rudd. Yeah, I
uh,
always have.
Julie and Nick from Julie and the Phantoms. He was her first crush.
I know. I know. I can't read that.
Greer and Lake from Rain. We were just talking about that too. I'm gonna go with Greer and Lake. I did like them, even though I feel like it's one of those things where it's like I honestly feel like Greer and Lake, what at least in the second half of their storyline, after she it wasn't no longer about status. I feel like it was one of those things where it's like you love each other, but you're in different paths.
You're not on the same level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was always their problem. As much as they loved each other, they were on different levels.
Because it was just amazing when they first loved each other. She could not marry below her station because of her family and everything, and because women are already looked down upon in that day and age. That she needed to marry someone at her level or above. So
plus, she also had to think about her family back home.
That's true. But at the same time, Lath worked his Batuski off to bring his level up so he could meet with her. By the time that happened, she was already married.
Lost everything.
Yeah, she was already married to that dude, and because of him,
Castleroy.
she lost. Yeah, Castleroy. Because of that, she ended up losing everything, and she had to build herself up from the scratch, which is something she's not used to. But then, by the time she got where she wanted, and they were both at a level where they could get married, he wanted someone to be just a wife, which is what women used to do back then. And she was one of the rare people who was actually able to be, be her own boss, and she couldn't give it up. So I think they still loved each other back then, but they could not be together because of that.
Yeah.
But I have to go with them as well.
I agree. Like I said, it's like Gail and Dewey. They loved each other, but they were never on the same level at the same time. They were on different paths. Eric and Donna from That 70 Show.
Elena and Damon.
Oh, that's from Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, I know who it is.
Okay. Eric and Donna, I do like them. I'm not gaga over them like I am Jackie and Hyde, but I despise them.
Okay, just for the record, I also everything that you've told me about either one of them, I don't like them either. They can just go.
I despise Damon as a person.
But Eric and Donna are actually my favorite.
Oh really? They're my second favorite.
I love Jackie and Hyde. Don't get me wrong, but Jackie and Hyde are second, a close second. But still, Eric and Donna are always my favorite.
Yeah, Eric and Donna is second for me. But I feel like almost any ship I got, I feel like I would have chosen Betty and Archie over Elena and Damon. That's how much I hate them.
From what you told me about Damon, I don't think he belonged to be with anybody.
I despise Damon, but that's such an unpopular opinion because he's a lot like Daryl Dixon from Walking Dead. Everybody loves him. Everyone's obsessed with him. But me, I despise him.
Just because he's cute.
I despise him. Carlos and Jane from Descendants. I love them. Spectra and Porter from Monster High. Haunted.
I know who they are. I just can't read your freaking handwriting.
Carlos and Jane from Descendants. Oh, this is a hard one for me.
I do like Porter and
Spectra.
Thank you. But it's a no-brainer for me. I've got to go with Carlos and Jane.
This was harder for me.
I like Carlos and Jane.
I do. I love Carlos and Jane, but I also love Spectra and Porter. My only issue was that we only got them in one movie. At least we got Carlos and Jane in 2 movies because we didn't really get them in movie 1. But I really love Spectra and Porter's story though. They're one of my favorite Monster High ships besides the main ones, honestly.
I mean,
I
I liked them, but I mean, I wouldn't go gaga over them.
I love them and I love their story and uh, this is hard.
Oh, weigh the pros and cons.
Okay, well, a con is that we only got one movie of Spectrum Porter with
So you got to see more of
yeah.
them than them, yeah.
Um, I can't think of any more cons. Because I do love it both so much. I'm going to go with Spectre and Porter because as much as I love Carlos and Jane, um, and even though we only got one movie, Spectre and Porter, I feel like they were a main focus in the movie. In both movies, Carlos and Jane were they weren't the main focus; they were a subplot for both.
Good point.
And with Spectre and Porter, at least they were one of the main focuses in that movie.
I gotcha.
Uh,
I have Riley and Sparkle from Girl Meets World.
I love them.
I
Should have been together.
I think they should have been together
And
too.
she doesn't even watch the show. Danny and Sam from Danny Phantom. Okay. I love Danny and Sam, but
Okay, I'm at a tie.
are
I'm at a
you?
tie.
I'm gonna put them in the battle round
Yeah.
because they're both amazing.
I'm at a tie with that one too.
Ah, crap! I grabbed several. Okay. Prue and Andy from Charm. Kenna and Bash from Rain.
And who?
Prue and Andy from Charmed.
Oh.
Kenna and Bash, I love them, but they're my least favorite out of the four main ships with the girls.
I I
And Prue and Andy,
agree.
they're my least favorite out of the Halliwell ships, out of the four main ones.
I like them too. Um, I wish they would have ended up together. To be honest,
I feel like Kenna always wanted more than she could have, and that was where they were at a crossroads.
Yeah, I agree.
She always wanted, even though she loved Bash, she wanted more status, which at a woman at that time you can kind of understand
Yeah,
too.
especially since she was forced to marry him under
Awful
whatever.
circumstances.
Yeah, but I like Andy. Honestly, I'm at a tie here too because I don't know which one I'd rather.
Another battleground
Yeah,
one.
I don't know which one I'd rather.
Ethan and Diazzo from that new Strange World movie.
I didn't know that you put them in
I
here.
just lost my thought.
Yeah, I can't read your hand.
Gamora and Peter. I accidentally cut part of BG.
Gamora and Peter.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, 2 seconds.
I did really enjoy Ethan Diaz's story. The only problem is we didn't get much of them, so I'm gonna have to go with Gamora and Peter because I'm in love with them. They are my favorite Marvel ship.
Like I said, I like the two of them together, and I wish we would have seen them more together because you saw the very beginning and the very end,
And then
and him
talk about Diaz a
yeah,
lot.
but you didn't really get to see their interaction
Yeah.
together, and I did like them a lot, but I have to go with her because I really do love Gamora and Peter.
They're
Peter,
so cute. They're my favorite Marvel ship.
they-
I don't know if they're your favorite Marvel ship, but
when it comes to Guardians, um, when it comes to Guardians of the Galaxy, they are definitely my favorite people on there. So yeah.
okay. Meredith and Derek from Grey's Anatomy. They're my favorite ship from Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Alina and Mel from Shadow and Bone. Alina's the main girl, and then Mel is the guy she is with.
Right.
Her childhood best
Yeah.
friend. I like Alina and Mel. They're not my favorite
I'm
because
going with Derek and Meredith.
because I like Lena and Mel together. Definitely much better than Lena and Darkling. But they're not my favorite ship from the Grishaverse because the crows are superior. Don't kill me.
I know. I like Inej and I'm having old people brain, senior moments because I can't seem to remember anybody's name. But yeah, Kaz and
they're my second favorite Grishaverse
and
ship, but my favorite is Wesper, Wylan, and Jesper. I'm obsessed with them.
Honestly speaking, there's a tie there.
Really?
Because I really do like Wylan and I would say Jasper, but Jesper. I really, really do like the two of them together. I think they work great together. But for some reason, I like Kaz and
I do
Inez.
too. They're my second favorite.
And so to me, it's like a tie. I
But I'm gonna have to go with Meredith and Derek too. They're my favorite, and I love their relationship so much. It grades me out, and we got so much content with them too. Derek died at near the end of season 11, so we got 11 full seasons of them, which a lot of couples don't have that much.
oh god.
Especially since they met and felt and were kind of together from the very beginning. We got 11 full seasons of their story.
Yeah.
Plus, if you want to include when Meredith had COVID in season 17, was in a coma, Derek came back and they got to have some more scenes together then. So, um, Daphne and Fred from Scooby Doo.
Robin and Barney.
I like them together. I really do because there's one thing that I always bring back to for the argument of who Robin should have ended up with, and it's the fact I saw this thing on a post once, and I completely agree with it. And it said, Ted always wondered if Robin was the perfect girl for him. Barney always wondered if he was the perfect guy for her,
Which is love.
which is
Yeah.
why they are much more
Yeah.
superior.
Which is why they belong more together than Ted did with.
I really like Daphne and Fred though.
If I had to make a, I almost said tie because I don't really like either one of them that much, but to be honest, I think I'd go with Daphne and Fred too.
I mean, if it
because
was,
I don't like Robin.
I don't like her as I don't like her as a character, but I do like Robin and Barney's relationship.
Oh,
Um, Addison and Zed from Zombies.
Abby and Heath.
Monster High. I love Addison and Zed, but Abby and Heath.
We have to agree again. I go with Abby and Heath. Of course, who is my favorite Monster High character? Abby.
And Twilight's your second.
Yes.
For me, that's reversed. Twilight's my second, Abby's my third, because Dracula will always be my first. But
Well, see, I like my third would probably be
I don't know.
Claudine.
Really? I think I'm a little surprised by that, to be honest.
I like Claudine.
Mel and Ben from Descendants. They're my favorite ship from Descendants. Ray and Nora. Era. We were just talking about them earlier. The funny guy, Ray and Nora.
Oh, right.
Okay.
I told you I haven't seen you on
Oh my gosh, this
and
one's
who else?
hard.
Mel and him?
Ben, this one's hard. I want to put them in the battle round.
Oh god. Okay, I'll go with that. I'll put him in the battle round. I'm good with that.
Because that was hard.
I still think I would have one for me. One is a little bit higher than the other, but they're close enough that I'd put them in the battle round.
Candace and Jeremy from Phineas and Ferb, because why not? Eunice and Dutch from Soap.
Who?
Candace and Jeremy.
I'd have to say tie. I can't.
Really?
I can't choose.
I figured you'd choose Eunice and Dutch. I feel like we can put them in the battle round. I think I know who I would choose, but we can put them in the battle round for now. Kelso and Jackie from That 70s Show? You? Who did we get? Is it a good one or a bad one?
Arthur.
So, even if we didn't get a bad chip, it would have been pretty hard to beat them because they are one of my newest obsessions. I'm obsessed with Merlin and Arthur. I love them so much. They are in love. I love them. And I'm obsessed with them. And my mom knows how much I ship them. So, I'm going to have to go with Merlin and Arthur. Plus, Kelso and Jackie suck.
Well,
They bring out the worst in each other.
I agree with that. Kelso and Jackie, I think there's very few people I would put under them.
Yes.
Yeah. So I definitely go with Merlin and Arthur.
But she's not a huge shipper of them.
I'm not a shipper of Merlin and Arthur. I love Merlin though. I really, really do. I love Merlin, and I love their friendship and the devotion to each other. I just like their friendship so much that I'd rather them be friends. I do see how people could ship the two of them together because I just recently rewatched some episodes of Merlin not that long ago, and I can see sometimes where they look like they were in love or at least had an infatuation. I can see where you get that. I still, like I said, I absolutely love Merlin, but I'm not a big fan of them as a couple. But they are definitely
Better than
over
Kelsey and
Kelsey
Jackie?
and Jackie. Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you what you said about very few people could very few people Kelso and Jackie could beat.
Yes, exactly.
Like out of everyone we've got, I think the only person I'll actually put them under was Alina and the Darkling because that's the downright abusive. I think I'd even put Betty and Archie above them.
What about Damon and
Oh, Damon and
Yeah,
Elena.
I'm not a
Oh.
big fan of Damon.
Uh, I don't know if I would put them under or above Kelso and Jackie. To be honest, I might be honestly tied.
Tied.
But the only one I know for sure I'd put under them is Elena and the Darkling because that's downright abusive.
I
Um,
have Nina and Matthias.
oh, I love them. I have Paige and Henry from Charmed. I love Paige and Henry, but I kind of want to go for but at the same time, it's so even because
I'm with you on the even.
really, I'm gonna put them in the battle round
Yeah.
because I do love Paige and Henry. I just love Henry, and
Well, honestly, that's the thing about it. If you're talking that way, like you said, sometimes it's hard for me to. If I really, really like one person, then sometimes it's hard for me
but
to
I did like
say.
their relationship.
But
My
I like Paige and Henry's relationship because he was not afraid when he found out she was a
yes,
witch and all that. But I'm not a big fan of Paige.
I
That's my.
I like her in the end, because
See, she did grow on me.
and I like her more than Prue by the end.
I will give you that. I will give
Um,
you that.
but
But still,
it's still no.
she's my least favorite of the sisters. Well,
Prue's
no,
my
no.
least favorite.
I wasn't thinking of Prue because she was already dead. But yeah,
Out of the three, after Prue's dead, she's definitely my least favorite. But uh, but also I know more of Nina Matthias' story because you have read Six Crows, so I get to see
that's
all
true. That's
that.
true.
So do you have
Because
a choice, or do you want to put them in the
no,
battle
I'm
round?
still at a crossroads.
I
With
think
them
I know
now.
who I would choose, but I'll put them in the battle round for now. Cause she hasn't read. She's not a huge reader. She only got into reading recently, and she doesn't read much fantasy. She mostly reads true crime, so she hasn't actually read Six of Crows.
The only fantasy books I read are the ones my daughter writes.
Pretty much.
So I haven't actually, except for I have read the Harry Potter books
Yeah.
and the Twilight books. But other than that, Twilight books was a waste of my time. But anyway,
Robin and Alice from Once Upon a Time. They might be my second favorite. They used to be a little bit lower, but Danny and Lane from So. Oh crap! I love him, and I love them. This is so hard. Robin and Alice from Once Upon a Time from the last season. This one's really hard for me. Is it hard for you too?
I know which one I would put a little bit above the other one, but they are close enough to be a tie.
Okay. We're getting more ties. We'll be able to do the battle round after all. Elena and Sid from One Day at a Time. I really like them.
Who?
Elena and Sid from One Day at a Time.
Oh,
Okay, I'm scared.
Tara and Willow.
Yeah. Okay, so
I'm going with Tara and Willow,
Me
but
too.
the reason I laughed is because that's like she absolutely loves the two of them, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, she's definitely gonna choose them.
Tara and Willow and Piper and Leo, I'd say, are my two all-time favorite ships. Like, if I got the two of them together, I don't know if I'd be able to choose. Like, they'd be.
I would.
Piper and Leo.
Piper and Leo are always one of my favorites.
But so other than Piper and Leo, there all the other ships we've already had. I don't think there's one I would have chosen over them. So as much as I love Elena and Sid's story, I absolutely love them.
Because I would still put Buffy and Spike above Tara and Willow.
No, not me.
I
Buffy and Spike.
I love Spike. I love Spike.
Buffy and Spike's my third favorite ship, honestly. Xander and Anya second.
See, Tara and Willow would be my second.
But as much as I love Elena and Sid, which I do love them,
I do love their relationship.
Tara and Willow are one of my absolute favorites. Like, it's very hard to beat them, just like Piper and Leo. Twilight and Howleen from Monster High. I ship them. I believe they're in love. I don't care what anyone says. Twilight and Howleen. I ship them. Have you seen 13 Wishes? That's your favorite Monster High movie. They are in love.
Okay, Monica and Chandler.
Twilight and Howleen.
I'm going with Monica and Chandler.
I love Monica and Chandler, don't get me wrong. But Twilight and Howleen, I believe they are in love.
I don't believe they're
I
think they have a very good friendship. I do like their friendship, but still, I don't think they're in love. But I go with Monica and Chandler.
Twilight and Howleen. We disagree. Okay, this one, I'm sure the other one wins. What do you have?
Eliza and White?
Yeah, from Zombies. The zombie girl and werewolf boy. Eliza's the activist, Zed's friend, and Wyatt is Willow's brother.
Oh, zombies! Go! Oh my god!
They definitely win. I got Hotch and Haley from Colonel Mines.
Who?
Hotch and Haley.
Oh shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But yeah, I love Eliza and Wyatt. I
They
love
are
them.
great. They are probably my third favorite zombie ship though. Cassette and Addison, and then I really liked Willa and Aston.
Will and Asper would be my third.
Mm. But Hotch and Haley, I don't like.
Yeah, I
Even though her death is heartbreaking.
messed up.
I don't even think it's the fact that she died because I wasn't a huge fan of Haley. I think it's the
The
way
way
she
she
died
died,
that killed
the
me.
and the psychological damage. Their child was in the house when he murdered her mom. I mean, that's just. But what he did to Hodge was.
Ferb and Vanessa from Phineas and Ferb. Mulan and Li Shang from Mulan. You finally watched that movie.
I did finally watch
She
that
finally
movie.
watched it, and anyone who knows me knows that's one of my favorite Disney movies. I did like Ferb and Vanessa,
I'm going with Ferb and
but
Vanessa.
I'm gonna have to go with Mulan and Li Shang because I love them. They are actually tied for my favorite Disney ship out of those classic Disney movies, not including DComs like Descendants. My favorite Disney ship, tied with Anna and Kristoff. If you did not know,
I didn't.
Arizona and Callie from Grey's Anatomy. They are probably my second favorite ship from that show.
I can't read your handwriting.
Neil and Emma from Once Upon a Time. I love them.
Well, I was gonna say because I did like Arizona and Cali, but Neil and Emma, no. Yeah, I'm going with Neil and Emma.
I love Neil and Emma. They're one of my favorites. Like my top four would be Belle and no particular order because I don't even know what the order is anymore. I used to know, but now I'm on the fence about which ships I like more. But Belle and Rumple, Alice and Robin, the other Robin and Regina, and Neil and Emma. Those are my favorite ships.
I
The
like
ones I really
Neil. I
care.
like mine would be Neil and Emma. And then I liked Alice and Robin.
Um,
And I kind of liked Charming and
no, I like them too,
no,
but I'm
but
not as obsessed with them as I am the other four. But it's really hard for me because as much as I love Neil and Emma, um, I love Arizona and Cali too, but at the same time, and we got a lot of them, a lot more than we got of Neil and Emma because Neil was killed a lot sooner than he should have been. But I also feel like they ruined Arizona and Cali, which they did with a lot of the ships. They ruined them. They had Arizona cheat on Cali, and I hated that.
still I choose Neil and Emma.
Mm, this is really hard for me. Ooh, it's kind of. Oh, I don't know.
If you want to put it in that pile,
Sure,
that's fine.
because it's really hard for me to choose.
I have Jay and Gil.
From
Uh,
Descendants. I have Phineas and Isabella. I do like them and their relationship. But I'm going to go with Jane and Gil.
Jay and Gil for me too. That's a
Because
no-brainer.
when at first when I watched it, I didn't ship them like a lot of people who watched Descendants 3 did because I like Jay and Lonnie, which I still do. But the more I watch Descendants 3, the more I've come to actually really ship them. And now I don't know if I like Jade more with Lonnie or Gil.
Well, see, I agree with you on that. I really did like Jay and Lonnie together, but now in the second movie, I was not a big fan of Gil's because he was like this stupid idiot that just
Yeah.
followed Uma around. But in the third movie, I really began to like him, and I liked the chemistry with Jay and Gil. I liked the
Yeah.
chemistry between them a lot more than I liked the chemistry with him and Lonnie. So I think I would go with Jay and Gil.
Inesh and Cass from Shadow Bone.
And Draculaura and
Laguna from Monster High G3.
okay, you know I'm going with Cass
So
then.
I do really ship Dracula and Laguna from the new Monster High series. They are my favorite ship right now, even though they are still
Are they
non-canon.
together in
No,
the new?
Cleo and Frankie, it's obvious that they're going to get together. Laguna and Draculaura, there was an episode that made me think there was something, but at the same time I don't know because it looks like they may be going how G1 went and put Draculaura with Claude and Laguna with Gil, who has now been introduced. But I lost what I was saying. Oh, so no, they're not together. I do think they could be, but Gil has been introduced now, and Claude was introduced, and I think they're gonna head that way, like G1 did, which I really hope not because we already saw them together in G1, which I love them in G1. But I really think they should go this route. I don't know if they will though, and I really do ship them. They're my favorite ship from G3 so far. But Inesh and Kaz, even though they're my second favorite ship in Shadow and Bone, I absolutely love their story, and I am so excited to see if we get a Six of Crows spinoff. It's because I want to see the heist. There's several scenes I'm ready for.
I may actually consider reading those
You
books
should
because I did not want to watch Shadow Mode to be totally honest, but then she did this thing where she wanted us to
watch the first
watch the first
episode of 10
episode.
different shows I watch.
Yeah, and I watched it, and it's just like Rain was one of them that she had me watch the first episode, and then I ended up liking both of those enough that I ended up watching the show.
And then when season
So
2 was released, we watched them together on release day.
yeah, so
And yeah, Kanaj is amazing. They are my second favorite ship from the entire Grishaverse, and I love them a lot.
JJ and Reed.
From Colonel Mine, some people ship them, especially with what happened near the end, and it kind of.
Oh right, that's
I
right.
hated that storyline. I hated that storyline. Because I'm a huge JJ and Will fan, but
I like Will. I
Snow
really,
and
really like
Charming.
Will.
They're not my favorite Once Upon a Time ship, but I'm gonna have to go with Snow and Charming just because I only like JJ and Reed as friends. I do not like them as anything more.
I agree with her too. Cause I really can't see JJ and Reed together. I
Yeah.
can't.
And one thing that made me mad about that storyline, it's like it's kind of just missing JJ's relationship with Will, which I do not like.
And I love Will.
Me too.
I loved him from the very beginning he was introduced. I loved him. Even before they were dating, you know? I really, really liked him.
Cleo and Deuce from Monster High G1. That's her favorite ship. Cynthia and Lydia from Grease Rice and Pink Ladies. Cleo and Deuce. I love Cleo and Deuce.
I believe it or not, I have a I hate snakes. A big fear of snakes. If I even see a stick that looks like a snake, I'm freaking out. But I love Deuce. I love Deuce. I freaking love Deuce.
Do you
Um,
have a
is Lydia the girl that she was acting with?
yeah?
I'm on the fence.
Really?
Honestly, I really liked Cynthia and Lydia
You
together.
want to put them in the battle round?
I like them, but I like them too. Yeah, might as well.
I think I know which one I like, but I think it would just be like barely as well. Dracula and Claude from Monster High G1.
JJ and Will.
That is so ironic. Oh my gosh,
Who else?
Dracula or Claude. This one's hard for me. This is my favorite ship from G1.
Is,
But
I go with JJ and Will mainly because I like Claude, but I cannot stand Draculaura. I cannot stand Draculaura.
so I took more from G3 though.
I do the
Monster High movie.
I haven't seen the cartoon,
Yeah.
but I love Monster High the movie. I like the Draculaura on there because she seems to have a little bit more of an edge to her. She's not all prissy. If you guys don't know anything about me, Jahar does, but I am not the one that likes the goody goody one. I'm usually the ones that go for the I wouldn't say evil person, but the semi-evil person, the
Morally
one that has
gray.
the edge.
Those characters are known as morally gray.
Yeah. Well, see, I like people with an edge, and Draculaura never had that. She always had this prissy voice that made me want to rip out her larynx, and then she is so sweet and stuff that I just wanted to kill. But in the movie, I absolutely liked her. She would be one of my favorites. I absolutely loved her because she had more of an edge to her, and so I even liked her more than
It's hard.
Claudine.
This is hard for me because Dracula and Claude are my favorite ship from G1. And JJ Will's my favorite canon ship from Colonel Mines. I'm saying canon because I'm a huge Emily and Hawk shipper too. A lot of people ship them.
I can see it, but I wouldn't say. I mean, I could see it, and I would not be upset if they got together because I can see it, but I don't think I care either way. If they're together, they're together. If they're not, they're not. But it's not like it would bother me if they were.
Um, this one's really hard for me. I want to put them in the battle round. Keelan and Cisco from The Flash. I put that because she really likes them. I love their friendship, but I don't think I would ship them just because I love their friendship too much.
Phoebe and Cole.
Okay, so this is controversial between us because I think you do like Phoebe and Cole. I don't think you dislike them, but you like Phoebe with Coop a lot more. Me, I feel like I like Phoebe with Cole more, and I think that has a lot to do with because we didn't see much of Coop. He wasn't even introduced till the middle of season 8. Henry was at least introduced earlier in the season, and so because of it, we got so little of them. I might have ended up liking Phoebe with Coop more if he was introduced at least a season earlier. But Cole, we got so much character and relationship from them, and I feel like in the end their downfall wasn't exactly Cole's fault the source had possessed him, and the source wouldn't even let him tell Phoebe. I don't think he had a choice in
Yeah,
that.
well, I agree with that because this
He was tricked by Seer.
it was a constant battle in his body, and
And
it's not like your mind talking to you. He literally was like possessed.
basically.
So it was like one minute he was himself, the next minute he was not, and it was almost like having two personalities. And I do like, I mean, I like the fact that Cole could never kill her. Even he could not even let Balthazar kill her because he loved her. But he's still not Coop. I think Coop, because in the end there's too much about Cole. There's just too much about Cole because no matter what, even in the beginning, there's always something that was keeping them apart.
True. But
And
one thing I loved was
even when he was human, there was always something that was keeping them from being together. And Coop just brought out the funny side of her. I think
yeah.
is
One thing I loved about Phoebe and Cole was that the source was supposed to have this huge hold over him and basically a possession sort of thing. But he even makes a comment one time, I think at the seer, I think it was kind of the source talking in him, but he said that I can't kill Phoebe. Cole loves him too much.
yeah.
Which means his love was stronger than the source's hold over her, which says a lot.
Yes.
Which is one detail I love. And
now I agree with you. I really do like Caitlin and Cisco's friendship. I like it a lot, but I still
you think they could have been good together?
I do. I think they could have been a friendship to lovers thing.
Yeah.
I think they would have been good in that respect. And even though I did kind of like Phoebe and Cole, if I looked at them in a whole, I think I'd rather Caitlin and Cisco.
See, this is hard for me because Phoebe and Cole's actually my second favorite ship after Piper and Leo. I don't know if you knew that, but Caitlin and Cisco, I love their friendship, and I think if it happened, I would have loved their relationship dynamic. But I also like their friendship, and I think I'm gonna go with Phoebe and Cole.
I have a tie with uh, Phoebe and Coop and Paige and Henry because ignoring the sisters themselves, because I like Phoebe more than I like Paige. But when it comes to Coop, I think I do like Coop a little bit more than Henry.
I like Henry more.
But still, I love the guys so much that I have trouble saying which one would be my second, which one would be, because as a couple together, Phoebe and Coop and Paige and Henry were so good together. True. In my eyes that I think that they're even for number two for me. I mean, you can't beat Piper and Leo. I don't care.
Yeah, you can't.
But still,
for me, it'd be Piper.
I kind of like Chris and that girl though.
Bianca. Yeah. I like it too, but we only got an episode of them.
Yeah, but still,
So, I say I have 5 ships because there's these 4 girls main ships, and then there's also Phoebe has 2 main ships if you ask me, because Cole and her had a long story. Then
yeah, they were even married. Yeah,
and the person she ended up with was Coop. So I consider her having 2 main love interests. And because most of the girls' love interests I despise, but except for these ones, and it would be Piper and Leo, Phoebe and Cole, Paige and Henry, and then I feel like with Prue and Andy and Phoebe and Coop is where it's kind of tied.
I did like Andy.
But the Hollywood House of Hollywood podcast, they love dragging Andy. Cara and Monel from Supergirl. Morgana and Gwen from Merlin.
Morgana and Gwen.
I do ship Morgana and Gwen, but I'm gonna have to go with Cara and Monel for this one. If I got Merlin and Arthur, because I do really ship them, but Morgana and Gwen, as much as I ship them, I don't love them as much as I love Merlin and Arthur. I'm gonna go with Cara and Monel.
I liked them as friends, but nah.
Okay, there was
Cara and Monel.
Just like Merlin and Arthur, where sometimes there were these looks. Like there's this one scene I can picture with Morgana and Gwen when Gwen gave Morgana flowers to cheer her up because she's been having a bad time, and then Morgana thanks her, and Gwen goes to put it in water. Morgana kind of looks back at her with this little smile, and I'm sorry, she looked like she was in love in that moment. Ooh, Oliver and Felicity, they're gonna be a hard one to beat.
Alex and Kelly.
Supergirl. Crap. So after I finally watched last season, and I haven't watched the rest of Supergirl for a long time, so I didn't remember much of their story in seasons 4 and 5. But I absolutely love them, Oliver and Felicity. But my problem is that I love them a lot, and they're definitely my favorite Supergirl ship, even more than Cora and Mon-El. But
I really did like their relationship,
yeah,
Alex and Kelly,
yeah,
and I'm glad they got married in the end. I really
me
am.
too. I love them. They were so cute, and they even adopted a daughter and stuff together. In the last season, remember that one girl from the orphanage?
Oh, right, right, right.
Uh, uh, but Oliver and Felicity, like I said earlier, is tied for my favorite ship along with Sarah and Ava and all of the Arrowverse. So I'm gonna have to go with them.
I'm gonna go with Oliver and Felicity as well, but it is
Close
a
second.
close second,
Yeah,
yeah, because I really did like Alex and Kelly
me too.
together. They were good together.
Tori and Andre from Victorious.
I like them
Me
together.
too.
And I can't read here.
Lexi and Mark from Grey's Anatomy. Lexi and Mark. I did like Tori and Andre, but Lexi and Mark. Lexi's Meredith's sister, and Mark is Derek's best friend. The guy that was also on Charmed. He played Jason on Charmed. The guy that Phoebe was with. You're the one that told me that because I didn't recognize him. Lexi and Mark.
I
love
go
them.
with Tori and Andre.
I don't think you've seen enough of Lexi and Mark. She's finally watching Grey's Anatomy though.
Yes, but I'm only on the second season.
But I love Lexi and Mark. They are so amazing. Their story is so tragic. Like they and their issue is always their age difference. Mark is a lot older than Lexi, because Derek's older than Meredith, but Lexi's younger than Meredith. So Mark is Derek's age. So there's a big age gap. And at first, Mark was the one that had the issues with it. Plus the fact that she's Derek's girlfriend's little sister. But later on, it was Lexi that had the issue of it. When Mark ended up having a daughter that came by that he didn't know about and stuff, she realized how big their age difference really was. And um, it started to really bother her, so they broke up. And it's like they never was on the same wave. They were one of those characters that were just never on the same wavelength after that. And but then um, she finally told him how she felt, but he had a girlfriend. And then the plane crash happened, and then she was dying because she had an entire plane on her, half a plane on her. There's no way she was gonna survive that. And he finally told her that he loved her too, and that they were meant to be together. But then she dies. But then he dies right after in the hospital because he makes it back, but his damages was too extensive. He ends up dying like right after. So
maybe they're together in the
hereafter. They are because they come back when Meredith is in a coma, and they're together in the hereafter.
Oh, hey.
So you find out that they're together.
Annalise and Julian.
Oh, from Princess Puffer. I couldn't remember the name for a second. Cordelia and Angel. Angel. Buffy and Angel.
I don't know.
Okay. I like Annalise and Julian, but I'm gonna go with Cordelia and Angel because just like I feel like reason why we shift Spike with Buffy instead of Angel is a couple reasons. One is because Spike makes Buffy laugh, but another thing is because Spike loved her without a soul, which not even Angel could do. But with Cordelia
yeah,
and Angel,
because Angel, once he lost his soul, all he could think about was destroying her.
yeah,
Spike loved her before he even got his soul back, and therefore I think that's more better because the fact that he loved her regardless, yeah. And he Angel always seemed to be tragic whenever he was with Buffy,
and Buffy yet, was more tragic when she was with Angel.
Yeah, but yet Spike brought out something in Buffy that Angel couldn't, just like Cordelia brought out something in Angel that Buffy couldn't.
Whenever I make this argument for why Angel and Cordelia are perfect for each other, is I always come back to this one scene because I cannot imagine Angel doing this before he got close to Cordelia and Angel. Because there's this one scene where when they meet Fred's parents and there's this huge fight. So Cordelia, who had kind of become their medic, was patching everyone up. And after she finished with someone, she was like, "Okay, who's next?" And Angel gets up and he's like, "Ooh, me," and he runs over there with this huge stupid grin. And he never was like that on Buffy. Okay, after he got close to Cordelia, she brought out this side of him that nobody else could have, and that's why I shipped him.
But I think it also helps with the fact that Cordelia doesn't have the weight of the world on her shoulders like Buffy did. And to be honest, I think Spike understood that more than Angel did when it came to Buffy. And I think when Angel was with Cordelia, he didn't have to deal with the fact that he was always second to everything else.
Well,
Spike was okay with that.
Well, Angel had a big duty in Angel.
Yeah, well, true, but
he was trying to save the town.
Well, true, I get that, but I don't know. But I'll go with Cordelia and Angel.
Okay, whoever you have is gonna win for me because I do not like them. Emma and Hook from Once Upon a Time.
Ted and Robin.
Oh crap! I spoke too soon. Crap! So I do not like
Well,
either of these couples.
personally speaking, I'm gonna put them in a tie, but not a good tie.
Right, they're both
Yeah,
terrible tie.
I don't like Ted with Robin, and I don't like Emma with Hook. Now Hook grew on me later on. I didn't when he was first on the show. I disliked him, but
I
later on, I got to like him. But he's not Neil,
for
and to
me,
me, he's not Neil. And that was the
yeah,
big thing. Neil was she needed to be with Neil.
yeah. There's also a couple times when Neil was like, I I want you to be happy even if it's not with me, or and stuff like that. When Hook said kind of opposite things, but despite that, I just don't like even not even compared to Hook. Neil, I was never a fan of Hook. I despised him when he was first introduced, and I think he did grow on me a little bit. I still wouldn't say I like him by the end, but I feel like I like to compare him with Damon, um, from the Vampire Diaries because um for me Hook and Damon, even though Damon's a lot worse, um they're both characters that I didn't like when they first came. I also didn't like them with their main chip, and they also really hurt my favorite character, Belle and Caroline. But the turning moment for me is that because Belle and Caroline both forgave Hook and Damon, but uh, for me, the way I see it is that Hook earned it because there's one scene that always sticks out to me that made me respect him as a character. He finally apologized for Belle for like he hit her at one point in the Queen's Castle. He tried to kill her at least 4 times, all because he wanted her Rumple, not even because he wanted her Belle. And he finally apologized for it. Caroline forgave Damon for stupid reasons because he never even earned it, in my opinion.
Well, I don't really like either one of
You want
them.
to put them in the battle round and then we can just see who they get then? Okay. So they're going to the battle round for being too bad.
Yeah, I was say I don't like either one of the couples. So
Okay. Erica and Dominic from Princess and Pauper. Regina and Robin from Once Upon a Time. Regina and Robin.
Regina and
I
Robin.
like Erica and Dominic, but Regina and Robin. I
Regina
really
and
like
Robin,
them together.
Xander and Anya. I have Xander and Anya.
Um, I have Xena and Aries from Xena. I
Oh, they're a tie to me because I love Xander and Anya. Well, I really love Anya, but I love Xena with Aries. So I don't even know which one I want to
I
choose.
know which one, but we'll put it in battle round since you're having trouble. For me
You're gonna
personally,
turn Xander and Anya.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like Xena and
I
Aries.
love Aries.
I do too, but I like Xena and Aries, and I like their relationship. But Xander and Anya is my second favorite ship in the show, and I really like their progression. So,
I can't read handwriting again.
Raya and Namari from.
Oh, I know who you're talking
Okay. They're from Raya the Last Dragon. For those of you that did not know,
about.
which is
And
why
I love that show.
which is why I usually say where they're from, so
Oh,
people know. Red and Dorothy from Once Upon a Time. I did like them, but we only got an episode of them.
I like. Well, I don't know if I like them as a couple. I can actually see it. I really could see
I
it.
like them as
So
a couple.
I think I could go with Raya and Amari.
I do,
I do.
I do like Red and Dorothy, but I don't feel like we got enough of them.
I don't have an opinion of them either way.
I wouldn't say I love them just because we got so little of them,
Well,
but I
see,
did like them.
I think for me it's just like the same thing as I said with Hodge and
Emily?
Emily. It I don't care either way. If they got together, then that's fine. If they didn't, I mean, they were okay together. I don't care either way though.
Ryan and Amari for me though. Yeah, if I can grab it. The,
Ginny and Harry.
yeah, they win. There's just like Piper and Leo and Terra Willow. Very few people could beat them. Velma and Patrick from Scooby Doo, the live action.
Oh, I go with Ginny and Harry.
I love Ginny and Harry from the books at least.
Oh.
Alex and Joe from Grey's Anatomy. Now this one is one she actually does know, because even she
Who?
got Alex and Joe.
From where?
Grey's Anatomy.
Oh yeah.
Because she who's only now watching the show, she has seen a lot from me and heard me talk. But even she, who hadn't actually seen the show yet, was mad about how Alex left. That says a lot. Julie and Luke from Julie and the Phantoms. Oh, this one's
Uh,
hard for me. This one's hard for
I
me.
like Julie and Luke together.
You haven't really seen all of Alex and
I
Joe yet,
haven't.
so you haven't seen their entire story yet. This one's hard for me,
But yeah,
honestly.
I don't
Battle round.
know. I
Evie and Doug from Descendants.
can't read your hand. Cannot read your hand right.
Virginia and David from Shadow and Bone.
And who did you?
Evie and Doug. Okay, I love Evie and Doug. I do. But Virginia and David, one of my favorite scenes, from the books, which I was so happy they added that scene in the show, was when David started talking to her about metal and was trying to talk to her in his speaking, and he was like, basically saying that it doesn't matter how she looks because he loves her anyways, in his own David way. And that was one of my favorite scenes from the original trilogy. And when I squealed when they had that in the show. And I love Evie and Doug. They were so cute, and I really love them. But I'm wanting to say Ginny and David.
I go with Evie and Doug. Emily and Hotch.
I think I put them twice by accident. Oops, Julie and Luke.
Okay, we just had that, so pick a new one.
Okay, well then that one go bye bye. Who did you get again? Emily and
Emily
Hotch.
and Hotch.
Oh, I got Ruby and Max from Scary. The vampires. Max. Also,
I know who
okay.
they are.
You were looking all confused. So
I can't picture.
I do like Ruby and Max together. They were so funny and their relationship, but I absolutely love Emily and Hodge. I believe that they should have gotten together, and apparently their actors even chipped in. They both have made public announcements saying that the Emily and Hodge were definitely in love, but they just never went. The directors never went that way. So even the actors believe they were in love.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna just go with Ruby and Max.
I love Emily and Hodge. Mia and Brian from Fast and Furious. I love them. They're my favorite ship from those movies.
Lily and Marshall.
Crap, I love them too.
Lily Marshall's okay, but I'm going with me and
I
Brian.
want to go with Mia
No,
and Brian too because I love Lily and Marshall. They're by far the best ship in How I Met Your Mother. My only issue is that I feel like Lily was always so understanding when it came to Marshall and his law school and then him becoming a lawyer, which is a high standing thing. But I feel like when Lily wanted to, like in season one, they broke up because Lily wanted to do this art program, but it was only going to be temporary. They didn't even know it was going to be permanent, and he was so not supportive. And later on, when Lily and he became a judge, which was a little less high stakes. Which was a little less, not as time consuming as being a lawyer. And Lily ended up becoming this art consultant, which became very time consuming. And he was just not understanding because he missed her, but she had to go through the exact same thing he did in the early seasons. And I feel like he just wasn't understanding to her.
it kills you because if you pay attention, that's the problem with society. A lot of times, women are very understanding to guys and are willing to give them leeway. But when the situations are reversed, guys are not willing to give that to the woman, and that's the problem in
But I
society
do
today.
love Lily and Marshall. They're perfect together, but I'm gonna have to go with Mia and Brian.
Is that
Vivian and Seth from Moxie.
okay? You have to fill me in.
The
I've only seen
feminist
Moxie
movie?
one. I know it. I've only seen
They're
it
the
once.
main ship, the main girl and the main guy that was always supporting the women throughout the entire movie.
Right, right.
Okay.
To me, man, I only seen the movie once. So.
Caddy and Pharaoh from Monster High. I did love Vivian and Seth, but I'm gonna have to go with Caddy and Pharaoh.
I'm going with Caddy and Pharaoh too, but mainly because I only seen this movie once.
Yeah.
I've seen that movie lots of times, and I think that's just an easier.
This is gonna be a hard one to beat too. Hiccup and Astrid from How to Train Your Dragon. They're one of my favorite ships. Emma and Alyssa from the prom. I love them together, but Hiccup and Astrid, I gotta have to go with them.
I've only seen the prom once. I'm gonna go with Hiccup and Astrid too.
Grab two. Okay. Jade and Beck from Victorious.
Can't read your hand
Mary and Frances from Rain. I'm going with Mary and Frances. I like Jade and Beck, but
Who?
Jade and Beck from Victorious. The mean girl.
I know
okay.
they. I'm sorry, I was just thinking.
Sometimes when you're like that, you look confused. So I feel like I have to tell you who they are.
I'm going with Mary and Frances.
Yeah, me too. I absolutely love their story and stuff. So
Um, handwriting again.
Dean and Castiel from Supernatural. Even she ships through it. She's never seen all of Supernatural. She's only seen what I've
Yeah,
seen.
never actually watched the show other than seeing her edits and happened to catch an episode or so when she was watching it. But I do like Dina
Henry and
Cass.
Charlotte from Henry Danger. I've never actually seen all of this. I've been meaning to, but I do think
Who?
they Henry and Charlotte from Henry Danger. I do think they
Oh.
should have ended up together, but they're no Dean and Castiel. They were in love, and should have been together. And it's canon that Castiel loved Dean, but the America was too homophobic to make Dean say it back, even though the Spanish version had Dean say it back. I'm still bitter about that. America is homophobic.
Um, I don't know. Dean and I do like. I think I'm gonna go Dean and Cass mainly because I can actually I can see them together. Even though Henry and Charlotte maybe a little bit, but I can see them together a little bit. But I can see a future of Dean and Cass for
Yeah.
some reason. I
And
can't.
I feel like also casted to Dean what Ava did for Sarah. I made a Sarah and Dean edit because I feel like there's so many similarities between their character arcs. Because at the beginning, when they're first introduced, they're both so self-loathing and stuff, and they both even at one point say something like "I'm a monster," say something like that. But then at the end, uh, Ava said, Sarah said, "I'm not a monster" because Ava made her feel like she's not, and then right after Cass sacrificed himself and told Dean what a wonderful human being he was, he finally told God himself, who just told him that he is the ultimate killer. He's like, that's not who I am. And it was right after Cass finally sacrificed himself and told him what an amazing human he is. And I love them. Uh, Hannah and Orson from Scary Godmother, I ship it. I ship it.
I can see them together.
I ship it. I
But
ship
I
it.
think you're gonna choose my couple first,
I'm scared now. What is it?
Bella and Ball.
Oh crap! I do love Hannah Orson, and I wish we got more Scary Godmother movies because I do like them together. Even if it's not as in love, like their friendship, I also really like. But I do think they could become a nice couple in future, like a friends to lovers sort of thing.
Honestly, I agree with that. I can see Hannah ending up with Orson. I
Yeah.
really can because I think they were great together as kids, and I could see if they
Once
stayed
they get older.
as they stayed friends as they got older. I could see it coming into something.
But Belle and
And
Rumple's my favorite ship.
I'm not a big fan of Belle. Never have been. Never. But I love Rumple, and I saw what they did for each other. So I'll go with Belle and Rumple.
And even though she's not a fan of Belle, I just want to point out the fact that there's only three, so we might want to go back from this pile before we go to the
Oh,
because
gotcha.
I end up doing one
Yeah, I
twice.
gotcha.
Okay, but anyways, even though she's not a huge fan of Belle, even my mom thinks it's bogus with what happened when Rumple sacrificed himself and Belle was a blubbery mess on the floor, and literally nobody even asked if she was okay, let alone consoled her. But no, they asked Neil if he's okay, which I understand. I feel like Neil's the only one that gets leeway out of not helping Belle
Because
because he
his
just lost
dad,
his
yeah.
father. But then Emma goes around and asks Regina if she's okay because she was acting weird. No, Belle was a blubbering mess on the ground, and you're gonna tell me not one person cared enough. I I just think that entire thing is bogus, and I'm still angry about that because she was a blubbering mess on the floor, and I still think that's bogus.
That was messed up. It was messed up.
And she even thinks that she's not a fan of Belle,
I'm
so
not
that
a fan
says
of
a
it.
lot how
Yeah.
messed up that scene actually is. But I think they took Belle for granted a lot. They constantly went to her for research, but I don't think they really included her much in other
She,
things.
if you, because I never really thought about that to be totally honest until you brought it up one other time. But yeah, there's a lot of times when everybody was off doing, whatever they were doing to save whatever evil that was there at the time. But Belle was never really among them. She was just, hey, Belle, we need you to look up this. And then once she gave him the information, it was like, go away. And that is kind of messed up because I think Belle should have been included a little bit more. And that's like you said, that's saying something when I don't like Belle.
Yeah. Okay. Neville and Luna from Harry Potter. I like them together.
I do too. But will you like them better than Jesper and Wyland?
No.
They
They would also be.
I keep getting your favorite ship. You
Yes.
notice that?
They would also be up there with Piper and Leo and Tara and Willow, and I think I named another one that was up there. I don't remember who now, but one of those ships that's just really, really hard to beat because they're one of my all-time. Like if I made a top 10 list, they'd probably be in there.
Now I like Neville and Luna. I think they should have ended up together.
Me too.
But I agree with her. I go with Jesper and Wanda.
But that was actually only for the films. There was nothing to indicate anything like that in the books.
Oh well.
But I like them, and I think they were good together. And I feel like the films saw something that the books didn't even see. But yeah, okay. So I'll pick one from here. Let's see who we get. But yeah, I obviously picked Jesper and Wild. They are my favorite first ship.
Willa and Aspen.
Okay, I picked up Neville and Luna, so I'm gonna try that again because we just had them. Okay. Alex and Luke from Julie and the Phantoms. Who did you get?
Willa and Aspen.
Oh, this one's hard. Is
Who
it
was
hard for you?
that?
Alex and Luke. Oh wait, no, that's Alex and Luke. Never mind. I was thinking of Julie and Luke.
I
Willa
choose
and Aspen. Yeah, Willa and Aspen. I really like them together in Zombies 3, and I wish we got more of them. Okay, ready for the battle round?
Sure.
Okay.
Dum 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 dum.
Alex and Joe from Grey's Anatomy. Alex and Joe from Grey's Anatomy.
Who?
Alex and Joe.
Anna and Kristoff.
I love Alex and Joe.
I'm going with Anna and Kristoff.
I was gonna say I love Alex and Joe. And they're definitely one of my favorite Grey's Anatomy ships. I think they might be 4 because I think Lexi Mark might be 3, but I'm gonna have to go with Anna and Kristoff. Ted and Robin from How I Met Your Mother.
All right. I can't read your hand right
Ray
now.
and Nora. Ray and Nora.
Who did you have?
Ted and Robin.
Oh yeah, Ray and Nora.
I love them. They're definitely one of my favorites, and Ted and Robin suck.
Xena and Gabrielle. Who'd you get?
I'm laughing too much. I got Xena and Aries.
Oh.
I find that funny. Xena and Gabrielle. I do think they were in love, and I do like them a lot more.
Xena and Aries.
Are you doing that because you like Aries or because you like Xena and Aries together?
I like Xena and Aries together.
I like Xena and Aries together too, but not nearly as much as Xena and Gabrielle. I think the two of them were in love.
Okay, Mal and Ben.
Riley and Farkle.
I like Riley and Farkle. I think they should have been together.
I do.
And I think I like them more than Mal and Ben. So I'm gonna go with Riley and Farkle.
I love Riley and Farkle. I think I even love them more than Corey and Topanga. I love them a lot. They're one of my favorite non-canon ships. But Mel and Ben's my favorite decom ship. I want to go with Mel and Ben. Robin and Alice from Once Upon a Time. Love them.
Cindy and Lydia. Who?
Robin and Alice.
I go with Robin and Alice.
I love the Cynthia and Lydia story, but I kind of want to go with Robin and Alice too. I still want a season 2 because we need more of them.
I can't read your handwriting.
Danny and Elaine from Soap. Xander and Anya from Buffy.
Danny and Elaine. I choose Danny and Elaine.
This one's hard for me. I think they're both my second favorite ship from the shows they're from.
I love Xander and Anya together. I really love Anya, but I like Danny and Elaine because I like how their relationship progressed. I really do.
Yeah, me too, because they were kind of forced to marry each other. Long story, and they despised each other. And Lane was awful. We all hated her at first, but then you find out why she is the way she is, which was a heartbreaking story. And then the two of them finally start opening up to each other, and they actually had a happy marriage until Elaine's demise.
Yeah, until she got murdered. Yeah.
And she died. She literally ran while being shot just to see him one more time, which is okay. I don't want to spoil that. Never mind. I know you said you want to read Six of Crows. I don't want to spoil anything for you.
You know I don't care about.
I know, but still. Crooked Kingdom, which is the second book, ends with Matthias being murdered, and he literally runs to find Nina to see her one more time before he dies.
Why would you tell me that?
You just told me! But yeah, so it reminds me a lot of Nina and Matthias because he did.
Matthias died?
Yes, he does the exact same thing that Lane did just to see the person they love one more time.
That's great.
So as much as I love Xander and Anya, and I love them both, they're two of my favorite characters. Xander a little bit more.
See, I'm the other way. I like Anya a
Because
little bit
I, why Xander's my favorite is because I just feel like he's the heart of the group. He's the reason.
more. Well, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I will agree with that.
And I love his speeches. They're some of my favorite moments in the entire series, not including like final battles.
I just love how real Anya is.
True.
You know, I mean, she does not have a filter.
Despite my love for Xander and Anya, I'm gonna go with Denny and Lane while talking about it a little bit more. Especially since I think their time was really cut short because of her murder. Cleo and Deuce from Monster High G1. Neil and Emma from Once Upon a Time.
Who do you have?
Cleo and Deuce. I love Cleo and Deuce, but I'm gonna go with Neil and Emma too.
Yeah.
Didn't we get this one last time too?
We might have. Dracula and Claude.
Candace and Jeremy. I'm going with Dracula and Claude.
Well, I'm not a big Dracula fan, but I agree with you.
Last time I don't remember who we got with Candace and Jeremy last time, but last time I think I was gonna choose them because one thing I love about it is that Candace, like some of the other shows we talked about, is kind of like Sharon Tony, is kind of weird and stuff, but Jeremy likes her, and I like there's a few episodes here and there where she will try to not care about her brothers, but see her brother stuff to be there with Jeremy for whatever, but then he would be like, so you're not at all worried about them, and then she'd be like, no, but then she would act all weird about it.
That's just like her best friend. Her best friend does the same thing too. She knows how weird Candace is when it comes to busting her brothers, but yet she still absolutely is friends with her regardless.
Like, but then the episodes always end with Candace running off to bust him, and then Jeremy he's done this a couple times, and he always answers with, "That's my girl," because he wants Candace to be Candace, and I just love that. But they're no Dracula or Claude, so.
JJ and Will.
Ooh, I love them. Emma and Hook, easy. JJ and Will.
JJ and Will, yeah.
I love them. Eunice and Dutch from Soap. Danny and Sam from Danny Fan Zone. I love Eunice and Dutch, but I'm gonna go with Danny and Sam.
I agree. Danny and Sam. Arizona and Cali.
Paige and Henry for Charm. I do like Paige and Henry, but I'm gonna go with Arizona and Cali.
I'm gonna go Paige and Henry.
Oh really? Well, you might change your mind if you saw more of Arizona and Cali, which you will.
Maybe. I just remember what I've seen before of them.
Because I remember, because she actually said that while watching scenes, the first character she actually remembers actually liking from watching was Arizona.
Nina and Matthias.
Kenna and Bash. I like Kenna and Bash, but Nina and Matthias. Rain.
Yeah, I know you.
Okay.
I'm trying to visualize scenes of them together to see which one I'd like better. But now that I know that Matthias dies, I'm gonna go with Nina Matthias.
Especially since it's a lot like Elaine and Danny, how he was shot, but he ran to find her because he had to see her one last time, which is really sweet.
Yeah. I have Luke and Julie.
Prue and Andy from Charmed. I like Prue and Andy, but I'm gonna go Luke and Julie.
I'm a little bit on the fence, but I'm leaning a little bit more to Julie and Luke, so I think I'll just go with that since I'm leaning a little bit that way.
Awesome.
So.
This video is really long.
Yeah, almost 2 hours. It's because Dora talks a lot.
You talk just as much, if not more. But I also added a lot of ships, so that was also part of it. But yeah, so we'll be doing a video soon. I'm hoping we can do it tomorrow. We'll see about the ship it or rip it, which we've done before. So you can go check out our previous ship it or rip it to prepare for that one, which will be coming out soon too. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you like any of these ships we pulled out, which ships you prefer.
Or if there's any ships that you wish we would have added.
Yeah, you can always do this again. And so definitely name some ships, and if we know who they are, we might add them for next time.
Yeah.
A part 2. So yeah. That's all. Thank you for coming, Mother.
Thank you.
And I will talk to you guys next time.